Hey, Bruce, how are you?
Good.
Good. It didn't seem like you were very happy at certain points during practice. I'm wondering when you see the group, not scoring by going to the net, looking for plays that aren't there. What are some of the factors that they have to fight through, to successfully pull that off?
Well, you have to translate practice into game situations. I think in practice, you always have less resistance, even though there's bodies out there. And I think we're a pretty competitive team, Matt. So we do want to defend well, even though it's practice. Um, but in general, teams are working hard to close off passing lanes, block shots, etc. And we have to have a little more of a mindset that what we do in practice can help translate to success in games. And I think we've done a good job of that around here. We're a team that generally practices well. So it wasn't a lack of effort today. It was more of a lack of mindset of shooting, scoring goals with people at the net, second, third chances, whatever's necessary, or off the original shot. Sometimes we're in good areas where we can beat a goaltender and we look to make a play. And some of that is drill design. You're designing drills. So with odd man rushes, whether it's a 3-on-2, a 2-on-1, where you do have a little extra time. So that's the challenge for coaches. Maybe it's all 1-on-1, 2-on-2s, but you also want them to have some success getting your shot off. And we have 3 games in 4 nights. I know we've been off, but in general, when you're designing a practice, you have to consider that there will be competition in a game. So you want to find that balance of allowing them to feel the puck, get a shot on net, let the goaltenders get their work, and then balancing what you're going to see in a game. So I guess that's where today I was trying to remind them. And I think young guys have a tendency to overpass in practice, especially new to the team. They want to defer. They want to, the guy they're passing to give him a pat in the back. And so that's a little bit natural. And we're just trying to sort of get that out of the system for the Sennies and the McKeggs. And Craig's been here for a while, but even Freddie's still to this day to be a little more selfish in practice. And if there's an opportunity to score a goal yourself, do it.
Did what you see on the power play and during those drills, you're out there for quite some time, not a ton of smoothness. Did that concern you?
On what part, sorry?
The power play drills, did the lack of kind of crispness there concern you?
Yesterday or today?
Today. Coming off of yesterday, obviously.
No, I thought both groups moved the puck around. They certainly ran into some obstacles. We're trying to work on certain things for Buffalo. Sometimes the kill will get in the way of that because they're trying to work on what they need to do and they don't always, coincide with what Buffalo's doing on their kill. So, and we still want to run plays that might be dead-ended a little bit because our killers are working on stuff. So that happens in practice where both sides of the special team are trying to get their work in for the next day. We just don't have enough people here to sort of run those scout drills or whatever you want to call them in football. So, but in general, I didn't mind, especially Krejci's unit down at the one end. We're finding the plays into the bumper to Smitty, rotating it around to the open guy. And the other side, like I said, there's some things Buffalo does that we were looking for. I didn't pay as much attention to that end. So I thought our execution was fine. That's why we did the ice. It gets, the ice isn't as smooth as for whatever reason this time of year. Last night, today, whether it's the weather outside or just temperature's not up yet for the game or down, I guess. We wanted to make sure we try to work on a clean sheet of ice so pucks aren't bouncing all over, and we can, work on some of the execution part that we didn't have last night.
Fluto Shinzawa.
Bruce, what do you know about Coleman today?
He has gone to get an MRI. Obviously blocked a shot. I think everyone saw that part of it and couldn't hold his stick today. So he's gone to get looked at to make sure there's nothing. I think when you talk about those smaller bones, you got to take a closer look. So he won't play tomorrow. Depending on the MRI, if it's negative or no damage, then it becomes a matter of comfort with holding a stick, and I'd only be speculating when that could be, but he'll be ruled out for tomorrow. Senishin, on the other hand, does feel like he's going to be able to play. So assuming there's no tenderness in the morning or something that would prevent him, that crops up, then he'll go in Kuhlman's spot.
Okay. Just with the right wing, it's another one goes down for you then in Carson. And maybe you can say this overall about the offense, but having such difficulty finding something consistent outside of Pasternak and Smith, how has that compromised your overall 5-on-5 game?
Well, it doesn't help. I mean, I'd be speculating to say if we played every game with a full lineup, where would be 5-on-5? I think even, we brought in Smitty for that reason to help us with that part of the game, and Kasha for that reason. Andre just hasn't been able to fight through the injury bug, but it doesn't help when you're losing guys that can help you in that department. Now, Cooley is more of a depth guy for us, Fluto, but he did play well last night, and when he's been in the lineup, he's given us energy, scored a goal. He's a guy that will chip in, secondary scorer for sure. Just a good energy guy that if he plays the right way can be effective on the forecheck, and that's what kind of happened on their goal. We got a puck back, we got it in deep, got it back, transition. So different ways to score goals. But taking anybody out of your lineup does affect the chemistry and consistency. Me moving guys around will also affect it. I've been guilty of that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as a coach, I'm always looking to see what the best fit will be. Sometimes, like I said, out of necessity, and sometimes just because I don't, I think there might be a better combination to look at. And from game to game, we've certainly done that. So that's where we're at with Carson. And Senny played well when he played his last game with, I think he's with Studs and Corrali, had some good looks, has been scoring in Providence. So unfortunate injury. Hopefully he's past that and can go in and help us with that area as well, the 5-on-5 scoring. If he gets back to the level that he played when he was here a couple of weeks ago in the game he played, and what he's done in Providence so far.
Go to Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Jimmy.
Just any update on Tuukka?
Tuukka was in this morning. He will be getting treatment. He will not play this weekend. And then we'll go from there. If he can get, again, until he's back on the ice. Don't believe there's anything major there, but obviously something's going on. We had to leave the game again with a similar injury to last time. So we'll have to make sure we get it looked at and make the right call the next time and make sure he's I guess not make the right call. I mean, we assumed he was ready to play. That's why he was in. He said, he was medical staff. But obviously we have to keep a closer eye on it if something that's going to flare up.
And then a separate question here. I was just thinking about earlier, maybe even before the season started, I had asked you about, how teams, coaches, players, you break the season down into 5 games, 10 games, whatever, what have you, when you're looking at the schedule and kind of judge where you're at. I imagine that's been impossible this season, or have you been able to do that at all?
I have not, only because, again, I think we're used to an 82-game season. We're used to an all-star game. We're used to a 5-day break now. So there are opportunities to dissect the year that are a little more structured than this year and last year with COVID. There's been a couple of pauses already. So, no, I did look at the halfway mark, which was the other day. Is that, okay, where are we? Realistically, have we seen our full lineup? If so, how often? Where are guys? And like every team, we probably have guys above, or we do have guys that played, above expectations, some below, some right at them. I think all in all, like, we never want to lower our standard. We're a playoff team that believes we're a cup contender and at times a favorite over the years here. So we felt we started that way this year. And then with injuries, we're sort of a little bit more, okay, let's get through it till we get back to our group. We were incorporating some younger bodies this year, both on the back end and up front. Freddie's been in from day one, stud. So we have to live with a little bit of that. So I use the halfway mark as, we're in the mix. But we do need to step up our game, and obviously health will help us do that. And last night, again, we took a hit. So we have to be careful that we don't beat the guys down either. When you're playing with different lineups every night, that we take the positive, work on the like the Islanders, for example. We've been outplayed in the third period, so we have to get better at that. play winning hockey in those moments. So that's the way I've looked at it this year. I've only basically used the halfway mark. And I think, Jimmy, you know why? It was a COVID pause. We had 5 days to think it through. So, I mean, you're usually going to look at yourself at the halfway mark. So we took a little deeper dive only because we had 4 days to do it. And the timing was right on game 28.
Thanks.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Dan Roach.
Hey, Bruce. Good afternoon. Just curious what you were talking about at the beginning in regard to shooting. How difficult is that? And it sounds so simple to the hockey fan but as a coach, how difficult is it for you and your staff to get guys to shoot? I mean, you see Craig Smith's one of those guys that's automatic with it, but is it just something that's ingrained in them? Like you said, maybe human nature. And how do you overcome that? Is it just simply just keep reinforcing it? Hey, guys, it's okay to shoot the puck more.
Well, I mean, first, when you draft a player, he has a history. You know, he's 18 years old. He's been doing things at college, high school, junior, whatever that case is. And some guys are shooters right then from day one. Other guys are more playmakers. And then, of course, they evolve as they get to the pro game. But I think it's still part of who they are as players. And then we have to see what works for them at the NHL level. Who needs to shoot more, be a volume shooter because their plays aren't connecting at this level. There's some guys that make plays all over junior. They get here and they can't get it through the stick. They don't have fast enough hands. They can't separate. So now all of a sudden you say, hey, some of those plays you made are not available here. You're going to have to use your shot. And some of those guys do have heavy shots. Trent Frederick's a good example. He can really shoot the puck. He's got a heavy, hard shot. But I think playing center at Wisconsin, he made a few more plays. Maybe that was his role in the power play. I think he played down low. And here he's going to have to be a little more of a shot mentality. And then maybe the playmaking grows. So he's an example of a guy that we're really trying to encourage, shoot the puck, Freddie. You do have a hard shot. And then you can go through the list of different guys. I think Pasta, when he came in, made some plays, had good one-on-one abilities, and he worked on his shot to the point where he's developed an elite shot in the National Hockey League that he may not have had when he was 18. He probably had a good wrist shot because I remember that in Providence. Could certainly score in tight. Get it over goalies, get it bar down, find spots, accurate, but not the heaviness he has now. So I think everybody's a little bit different, but they do come in with a certain mentality. And if it's not a shot mentality, you're trying to change that. And like anything that's ingrained, any behavior, it takes time to change it. And sometimes you can't. We're not always successful getting players to buy in what we see because they feel they've had a level of success at what they do. So it's a bit of a negotiation as well.
Final question, Steve Conroy.
Hey, just a couple more on a couple of the injured guys. How close so far is Lausanne? And I didn't see Carlo there today. Was that a scheduled day off for him, or was there any kind of setback?
No, Carlo skated with the injured guys this morning with Kevin Miller, Kasha, because we had 8 defensemen, and today was a day that Losey need to get his reps, and Sean is our 7th right now. So we felt with 9 would be a lot. So Brandon got in yesterday, worked on his own today. Shouldn't say on his own with the injured guy, but not with the group. So he was on, feeling better, but not able to participate. But we pared the group down, I guess Steve's the best way to put it, because we wanted to get some specific work in with a certain number. Lausanne, very close to being playing. He just needs reps, I guess, right now with his hand. Make sure he handles pucks and comfortable with, handling, pucks. So he's very, very close. Tough to get him in regular practices now because we just don't have that many. We had one today, obviously play tomorrow and Sunday. There'll be no pregame skate tomorrow. There's an opportunity to be a little more game timing. Sunday, there won't be a pregame skate. There will be, injured skate. So it's a little tougher for him to find what he needs, Steve, right now with the frequency of our games and our schedule. So we'll have to monitor that. But he is very close to be playing, and we will not put him in tomorrow, but we'll list him as day to day. Anybody else that I forget, Steve? Sorry, because I didn't hear you. It was cutting out. Is he gone? That was it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, media. Thanks, Coach.